Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
And we begin with late-breaking news out of the Bexar County District Attorney's Office. Former Bexar County Detention Officer Armando Trevino has been indicted, along with 6 other people, in connection with an alleged Mexican mafia plot to smuggle drugs into the Bexar County Jail. That investigation led to the arrest of Trevino and other suspects in May 2019. The charges include engaging in organized criminal activity, possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, and bribery.
According to investigators, Texas Mexican mafia members inside and outside of the jail made arrangements through a series of phone calls to plan the drug deals. Trevino put on unpaid administrative leave shortly after his arrest. Sheriff Javier Salazar says he began the process to terminate Trevino. However, Trevino resigned the following June.
A senior prank that got out of hand overnight now appears to be putting kids out of school. A crowd of students was caught inside New Braunfels High School last night, and the district says they left a huge mess.
Yeah, we've got the pictures. Now Garrett Berger is learning more about the punishment they could face. He joins us live from campus. Garrett, tell us what you've learned.
We've heard there may have been more than 100 students here at the high school last night. Now, New Braunfels police say they did detain a number of them, but they were released at the scene. And we haven't heard anything yet about actual criminal charges, but we did just talk with a mom and her daughter who say the senior has been suspended for being here. Now, the senior and her mom told us that the senior prank was supposed to just be balloons and streamers, their understanding, but things went further than that. Now, these are photos circulating among students of the mess that was left behind. And we've had reports of eggs, meat thrown, and instant mashed potatoes put down drains. Now, Liberty Rule says she was only there long enough to blow up one balloon before she decided to leave. But when she came into school today, she heard talk of people being interviewed.
At that point, I kind of knew that I was going to be called out because cameras, they work. At first, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, I didn't. Like no harm, no foul kind of thing, but I kind of knew they were going to be talking to me at some point. Got called out, wrote a little incident report and all that, and they basically said anyone who came last night is automatically being suspended.
Rule said she's out through Monday, and then she has in-school suspension Tuesday and Wednesday. But Wednesday is also graduation rehearsal, and she says if she can't go to that, she won't be able to attend graduation next Thursday. Rule and her mother still say the fate of her graduation is unclear. Her mother saying a principal told her that after police do their investigation, they'll get back to them and they'll see who is walking on graduation and who won't be. Now, a district spokeswoman said she could not give us any information on who on who's been disciplined or who will be. Live at New Braunfels High School, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. 2 brothers, 1 crime. The siblings are charged with the same crime, but one is on trial for capital murder. The other took a plea deal. The one on trial, Eduardo Torres, facing life in prison if found guilty in the 2016 robbery and murder of a man who was sitting at a bus stop. Today in court, interrogation videos were shown to the jury. Erica Hernandez breaks it all down.
When first interrogated in November 2016, Eduardo Torres denied taking part in any crime.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know anything.
Torres and his brother Leonard are accused of robbing and shooting 21-year-old Nathan Valdez back in October 2016. Valdez was at a bus stop on South Presa when the brothers allegedly pulled up and attacked him. Valdez would die days later as a result of a single gunshot wound. During that interview, Torres said others would drive his vehicle and the weapon found in his SUV wasn't his. Police eventually determined that gun found in the vehicle matched to shell casings at the scene. During a second interrogation a month later, Torres told a different story, blaming the murder on his brother.
If it's murder, then that's what he did. I didn't shoot nobody. He's not right in the head to begin with.
Eduardo Torres still consistently denied taking part in any crime. As for Leonard Torres, as we mentioned, he did take a plea deal already, which also lowered his charge from capital murder to murder. He has yet to be sentenced, but he will be facing his brother in the courtroom. He's expected at some point to testify against him. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
San Antonio police are hoping for some help identifying a pair of suspects they say mugged a man in a parking garage just north of downtown last week. Officers say one of the suspects pulled a gun on a man in the Tobin parking garage, robbed him, then shot him. The victim was able to get away, but so did the suspects. Anyone with any information on who these people are asked to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
New at 6, we're learning more about the sudden recent outbreak of hepatitis among children. There have been more than 500 cases. And while not all the children test positive for adenovirus, about 60% do. And the way it's spread, it's sort of a specialty of young children under the age of 5, the most common victims. Ursula Perry visited University Hospital for a graphic example of how it moves from child to surface to child and how best to stop it.
The purple glow on Devin's hands is not a virus, but we're pretending it is. And just as fast as he can put his hand on the armrest, he's spreading it.
And the next person who would come along and touch the chair would then pick up the virus. And then if they touch their own mask or their face.
We tend to absent-mindedly touch our faces 15 to 20 times an hour. So it stands to reason kids are spreading it too without noticing. About 100 people tested positive for adenovirus last month at University Health, the same virus suspected of causing hepatitis in young children. Those 5 and under are particularly good at sharing it.
They're generously sharing their secretions and they're generously sharing their germs with others. And so we see daycare-related illnesses really, really frequently.
The rule of thumb is use lots of soap and lather up front and back of hands. But that may still not be enough.
Washing your hands after you go to the bathroom, before you eat, when you've been out and touching stuff and playing with stuff that other people are doing, if you've been out in the dirt, just go ahead and, give your hands a good wash.
If you or your child stays sick longer than a few days with stomach upset or diarrhea, particularly if there is any jaundice or yellowing of the skin and eyes, then it's a sign it's time to go to the doctor. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
A woman has died following a rollover wreck on the city's northeast side early this morning. This happened a little after 2 on the northbound access road of I-35 near Benz-Engelman. San Antonio police say the woman was going too fast when she tried to take a curve, drove onto the median, then crossed to the access road and rolled the car several times. She was pronounced dead there at the scene. No other vehicles were involved.
Check out traffic right now. Let's go to 410 and Starcrest, where we see very heavy traffic, especially, I believe that's the eastbound lanes of 410 at Starcrest. And you can see traffic is slowing down there for some reason. We don't know exactly why. We don't know of any accidents in the area, just perhaps the normal give and take out there. Traumatic emergencies can happen anytime, anywhere, whether it's your kitchen or at the scene of an accident. And knowing what to do can save a life. That's why University Health is offering classes for National Stop the Bleed Day at San Antonio's TxDOT headquarters. Sarah Acosta visited one of those free classes to learn how to save someone in a life or death situation.
It hurts. Definitely hurts.
Although they are never expected, emergencies happen and can take on a life of their own if not managed swiftly. When the sudden onset of a physical injury requires immediate medical attention, what do you do while you wait for first responders? It's what you will learn at one of the many free Stop the Bleed classes held by University Health today at the TxDOT headquarters.
I help take care of my mom. She has medical issues, so just in case anything ever happened, I just want to be a little bit more prepared.
Cadillo says he learned so much in the hour-long class, which isn't just informational, but extremely hands-on.
That was just going to be a lot of info, but it was actually very interactive and a lot of fun, actually.
University Health says stay alert and call 911, locate where the bleeding is coming from, and compress the wound by adding pressure until help arrives. The trauma program educator, Tataka Perry Johnson, shows us how to pack a gunshot wound.
You see someone is bleeding, we're stuffing this gauze in here until we can't put any more. And then once we can't do that, we're just going to apply pressure and we're going to hold it in place.
Having a tourniquet and knowing how to use it can also save a life.
And then you just tighten it down.
Oh, that's easy. After taking the class, you get a free Stop the Bleed kit, which includes a tourniquet and gauze. that you can keep at work, home, or in your car. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
While the war continues in Ukraine, here in San Antonio, community leaders gathering with Ukrainians to celebrate a special holiday. Today at City Hall, Mayor Rod Nierenberg and Ukrainian San Antonio celebrated World Vyshyvanka Day. A Vyshyvanka is an embroidered, brightly colored shirt that symbolizes the independence of Ukraine. It's something Ukrainian San Antonio says is a part of their heritage and cannot be taken from them.
Culture dwarfs the strategy, meaning culture wins wars, cultures change minds. That's so important. Culture is a DNA. You cannot get rid of it.
If you'd like to learn more about the Vyshyvanka, just go to ukrainiansanantonio.com. You can also donate to people affected by the ongoing war.
Looks like the mayor got a Vyshyvanka.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
He was out there.
Yeah, he was. All right, 97 degrees out there today. And okay, it's warm. It's hot. Not record-breaking, though.
No, not record-breaking for a change. We were shy of a record by a few degrees. So our streak of consecutive record-breaking days has come to an end today. It may start up again on Saturday, just briefly, but at least we have an end to it now. 98 was our high temperature. The record, 101. That was set back in 1989. The average high, by the way, 87 degrees. And you look across the state, we had many locations in the hundreds, triple digits. Abilene, for example, actually made it to 107. That tied their record high. Del Rio, 101. Cotulla, 103 for the high temperature. We're still well into the 90s. 97 at the airport will gradually fall through the 90s, then 80s, 10 o'clock, 81 degrees. But a cold front still on tap to hit us early Sunday. That's going to impact our temperatures, and rain chances are looking more promising. We're going to talk about the most likely day for the soaking rain coming up.
News around Texas now, 4 people dead after what authorities are calling an apparent murder-suicide. Deputies in Spring say a person shot and killed 3 people before killing themselves. The 4 people were found Thursday morning in an apartment complex. In an update, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez of Harris County said there was no threat within the complex. This is a developing story.
A large police presence around a company in White Settlement this morning after a deadly shooting. Lockheed Martin went on lockdown this morning as police investigated a suspicious device. Police blocked off lanes as they responded to a shooting at the main entry gate. This all started around 5:30 this morning. Chief Chris Cook said someone was confronted near that gate. Someone then opened fire, leaving 1 person dead there at the scene. It was not clear who was involved or what this incident was all about. Trash and troubles leading to a traffic study in a local bar district. 1 month later, we returned to the St. Mary's Strip. What business owners say they've learned from that study so far.
And yes, we're trying to deter human smuggling operations, but we still care about the community.
A small town with big concerns. Tonight on the Night Beat, we're riding along with Dilley Police. We'll show you the challenges they face when trying to chase down human smuggling suspects in and around their city. Tonight at 10.
Let's take you to Alamo Plaza. Sky 12 over, appropriately, the Alamo.
The one and only.
At the heart of Alamo Plaza. 97 degrees out there, and looking forward to a cool front.
Everybody's looking forward to it. I think we're all in agreement that we're looking forward to the temperatures dropping and rain chances rising.
Yes.
That's happening. It's on the way. This is good. I like this kind of shift in our weather pattern after what we've had. More heat through Saturday, though. I mean, these changes aren't going to happen overnight right now. It's going to stay hot, more of the same through Saturday. Then by Sunday, we're looking at a high temperature in the lower 80s. Wouldn't even surprise me if some locations were in the upper 70s. And rain chances will be on the rise throughout the extended forecast, with a few days in particular that stand out to me. So we'll get to that in a moment. First, look at our temperature trend. Tomorrow, 97. Saturday, 98 degrees. That would tie the record on Saturday. But then you see that sharp drop. And it's not just a brief drop. Near 80 on Sunday, and then mid-80s through most of next week. And keep in mind, the average high temperature is 87 degrees. So let's talk about the overall weather pattern. As usual, some storms flaring up. The mountains of Mexico off to the west of the Rio Grande. They're unlikely to make it eastward. Maybe just a stray sprinkle closer to the Rio Grande. That would be it. That's this evening. What we're watching is this upper level swirl, that counterclockwise swirl. That's an upper disturbance over northern Mexico. That's moving our way, and there's the chance it could kickstart a few storms tomorrow afternoon and evening. We're not all that confident in this having enough lift to break through the big cap that we have above us in the atmosphere. But if it does, then we could easily see a severe storm develop in some part of our area, isolated in nature. So we're giving it a 20% chance. Then we look off to the north. That's where the cold front is right now. This is Sunday's cold front. Much cooler air behind it. I mean, temperatures are in the 30s behind this front in parts of Montana, Wyoming, and even the western Dakotas. This is dropping southward. That's going to slowly move through on Sunday, increasing our rain chances then. So let's first talk about our futurecast as it pertains to tomorrow. Low clouds early, as usual, around sunrise, then partly cloudy the rest of the day. 2-3 o'clock. Wouldn't surprise me if 1 or 2 showers or storms popped up, and then that could be the case on through about 6-7 p.m. A few pop-up thunderstorms here and there if we can break through that cap with that upper level energy. So we've got that 20% chance, not very confident tomorrow. And even Saturday, a few rogue afternoon pop-up storms are possible, 20% chance. Sunday and Tuesday, keep that in mind. Sunday and Tuesday are the days that stand out to us much more, with more ingredients coming together, more likelihood of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Sunday, right now, we have it at 40%. It wouldn't surprise me if we raise that up a little bit as we watch that cold front as it moves our way. And then again, Tuesday, we're up to 60%. That's even Monday night into Tuesday. So more numerous storms likely to develop. And that's when we really could have some of the most soaking rainfall is from the storms Monday night and on into Tuesday. By the way, a little bit of dust headed our way. You're not going to notice it all that much. Most of it's way out over the Atlantic, this Saharan dust, very thick over the Atlantic. But Sunday on into Monday, looks like we'll have a little extra haze in the sky. Again, you're not going to notice it a whole lot, but we'll have a little bit of dust back in the air then. Right now, not all that hazy, 97 degrees and a dew point of 64, so it feels like it's 99. The humidity's up there a little bit more this afternoon compared to previous afternoons. Cotulla still 102, along with Junction. Dryden 103. Those are the hot spots. Meanwhile, Gonzales, Kennedy 91 degrees. You get to Rio Medina 97, Bulverde 93, Devine and Stinson now at 99. And tomorrow we'll start the day in the mid 70s. 74 in the morning, 97 in the afternoon. A mixture of sun and clouds. A nice southeasterly breeze again at 10 to 20 with some gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And 100 again, likely in the typically warmer spots. You get closer to the Rio Grande, you get southwest of San Antonio, just above 100. Converse about 98, Timberwood Park 95, Leon Springs 96 tomorrow. And there's that temperature drop Sunday lasting into next week with some enhanced rain chances. Again, Sunday and Tuesday stand out in terms of those rain chances.
All right, the days to watch. Thank you, Adam.
All right, we are months away from the start of college football. But there's already a war of words going on, Larry.
I'll tell you what, if you like a war of words and if you like drama when it comes to head football coaches, and we got the story for you, Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher. Nick Saban had some bad things to say about the Aggies, so Jimbo Fisher came out swinging, taking this rivalry to the next level. And Spencer Burford has a funny draft day story involving food coming up.
Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing. You can call me anything you want to call me. You ain't calling me a cheat. I don't cheat and I don't lie. So I learned that when I was a kid. If you did, the old man slapped you side of the head. Maybe somebody should have slapped him.
Oh, Jimbo Fisher going old school on Nick Saban in big board sports. In a jaw-dropping span of less than 14 hours, Alabama head football coach Nick Saban called out Texas A&M football, and then Aggies head football coach Jimbo Fisher fired back, taking this rivalry to a new level. Last night during a speaking engagement in Birmingham, Saban flat out accused A&M of buying football players thanks to the name, image, and likeness opportunities. Saban said the NIL is a great concept to allow players to profit, but he thinks the Aggies went too far.
I mean, we were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness. All right, we didn't buy one player.
Beyond upset by those words, Jimbo called the presser this morning at 10 to speak his mind, and man, did he ever. He knows Saban very well. He was an assistant coach for him, but none of that mattered to Jimbo because he feels Saban crossed the line with his accusation.
I promise you this, there are no violations, there are nothing wrong. It's the second time we've had to do this with grown men who don't get their way and want to pout, throw a fit, and act up. Just go ask all the people who work for him. You'll know exactly what he's about. I always said this, my dad always told me this, when people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is. What we did, there was nothing wrong, it was not done the wrong way, nothing was promised, nothing was deal, and we didn't buy any players.
You've been in this business a long time.
A long time.
Seen a lot of things.
It's disgusting to what we're into right now, especially by the people who are throwing the darts, who have no glass in their house.
Texas A&M Athletic Director Rick Bjork said Saban's comments regarding the Aggies' recruiting practices violate SEC sportsmanship bylaws, and he's been in discussion with SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
San Francisco 49ers rookie offensive lineman Spencer Burford is getting ready for organized team activities next week. Spencer has a funny story about tacos and getting the call from the Niners. So on Taco Tuesday, the team shared that story.
My draft day experience was unique, man. I was actually on the phone ordering some tacos, not even gonna cap to you. So I was sitting there, I was ordering tacos, and then I get a call on the phone, you know what I'm saying? Everything stopped then, so after I got the call on the phone, boop, 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 you know what I'm saying? I'm hanging it up, and I answered, he was like, hey, welcome to the family. I was like, oh, like, it can't be real, but it was an unexplainable moment, man. I had so many emotions overwhelming me at that time. Happy, you know what I'm saying, surprised, like dream come true, like I'm finna, you know what I'm saying, play with some of the best in the business, so becoming part of a great franchise, so it was a blessing. I'm not even gonna lie to you, the tacos didn't come.
But he did get his NFL contract. In TAP softball, Antonian dominated Dallas Bishop Lynch in the Division I state title game 18-3 at UT Arlington. The Apaches exploded for 14 runs in the bottom of the second inning. The game was called after 3 because of the run rule. It's the Apaches' second state championship and first since 2012.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah. They beat their rivals, was it yesterday, and then they go on to win the state title.
Yeah, they scored a lot of runs in those 2 games.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
I love the taco story.
Right.
That's true.
Our KSAT Q&A with Dr. Ruth Berggren is up next.
She's an infectious disease specialist from UT Health San Antonio, and we are very pleased to have her on a regular basis. Dr. Ruth Berggren joined us in this KSAT Q&A. Dr. Berggren, we've been getting a lot of questions as it seems as if the cases start to rise. We get more people asking questions about what's going on with COVID and particular drugs that they or someone they know or something they've read on the internet. And one of them is Paxlovid. There have been people who are concerned that they take it and then it doesn't, when they get off, they still have COVID. I mean, clear up some of the misunderstandings here when it comes to that particular drug, Paxlovid.
Sure, absolutely. I've been prescribing it quite a bit these days because there's a lot of COVID circulating in the community. And I want to remind everybody that the efficacy of this drug is really impressive. If you take Paxlovid within the first 5 days of getting COVID symptoms, and that's an important point, you got to take it early. You got to take it within the first 5 days. If you do that, you have an 89% reduction in your risk of going to the hospital or your risk of dying. So that is a huge improvement over what we had before. Now, what happens? You get your symptoms, you get your test, you test positive, you start your Paxlovid within 5 days. You don't wait too long. After 5 days of taking Paxlovid, are you going to feel perfect? Well, you might not. Just as with a common cold, remember the days when we used to get common colds? Well, it would be pretty common for people to continue to have some cough, that nighttime irritating cough that can linger on for weeks. If that happens after Paxlovid for someone with COVID, that doesn't mean that the Paxlovid didn't work. It means that your body is still working to recover from the insult and the inflammation that the initial viral infection caused. So it's very unlikely that these people that are calling in and saying, I still have COVID, it's unlikely that they still have the disease COVID-19. They probably have post-viral bronchitis. Alternatively, these could be people who waited too long and they didn't get the Paxlovid until beyond 5 days.
So, we're not in the middle of a surge, certainly, but cases are increasing here locally. And last time we talked to you, the positivity rate was up. So give us a picture of where we are right now in terms of the spread of COVID at the moment.
Right. I think the last time I spoke to you all, we were at about 5.2%. We've gone up to 9.7. We're almost above that 10% community positivity rate, which is not a real great place to be in. And what that means is really people should be putting their masks on when they go to crowded indoor places. When you go to the grocery store, when you go to houses of worship, if you're going to concerts, if you're going to meetings at work, wear your mask, wear a good surgical mask, because even though COVID isn't filling up our hospitals, it isn't killing people like it was before, it's no fun to get COVID. So we really need to double down on the hand washing, the masking, and the staying 6 feet apart from other people. And you know what else we need to double down on? We need to double down on getting boosted. So there's a whole lot of San Antonians that did not get their booster shot to begin with. And we know that a lot of people over the age of 50 are due for a fourth shot. And now is a really good time to go out and get that fourth shot if you are over the age of 50.
That leads into my next question, which comes from my own house. And actually, my wife and I had this discussion about when to get boosted. And should you stretch it? Like instead of the 4 months that's recommended, should you wait an extra month or two to see if you can get more, effectiveness as it heads into the winter time?
Well, that is an idea that I didn't think was such a bad idea a month or so ago, or when the first boosting recommendations came out. But at that time, if you recall, Steve, our community positivity rates were super, super low. And now we've seen them rise. First they doubled and then they doubled again. So I don't recommend stretching it out. I recommend that if you are in the eligible group to get either your third shot or your fourth shot, I wouldn't stretch it out. I'd go ahead and get it. Memorial Day is coming up. People want to get together. The holidays are coming up. People are going to want to travel. So go and get your booster before you travel, because it could really spare you an unpleasant episode of COVID-19.
So what about people who are not in that recommended group? If you're under 50, especially now we know that kids 5 to 11 can get a booster. When should that group that is not already being given the recommendation consider a booster shot? Sure. Well, anybody, including the 5 and ups, can get a third shot, or what we are calling it a booster shot if they weren't immunocompromised. That booster shot can happen as soon as 5 months after your primary series. And so that's something that just came out today. The CDC, I think Rochelle Walensky hasn't yet signed off on it, but the Advisory Council on Immunization Practices is recommending that children over 5 can be boosted 5 months after their primary series.
Great advice there, because I know there are a lot of parents out there that are wondering about this whole thing. Are we seeing any of the subvariants that we've been talking about in different places? I mean, is it mainly Omicron and subvariants? There's not anything else that we need to necessarily worry about?
So far as we know, that is the case. With this lull that we've had, Steve and Myra, there haven't been super regular meetings to talk about the very latest percentages of this subvariant and that subvariant. But we have not been hearing in our infectious disease circles about anything other than Omicron. And, we will expect these subvariants of Omicron that we heard about elsewhere, the BA4, the BA5, we will expect them to gradually be present. But we haven't heard about anything beyond those. And we aren't seeing more lethal disease. We're seeing more infectious, more easily transmissible infections, but we're not seeing people having more severe cases. But of course, we are approaching that 10% positivity rate, which may not be top of mind for a lot of people. So things to keep in mind, of course, as you mentioned, with the masking, hand washing, social distancing, we know the drill. Dr. Ruth Berggren, thanks so much for your time. Most welcome. Good to be with you.
Take care. We'll be right back.
A near out-of-control wildfire in West Texas growing and prompting voluntary evacuations. At last report, the Mesquite heat fire south of Abilene has burned through 5,000 acres and was just 5% contained. No injuries have been reported.
Yeah, several homes have been destroyed, though. Taylor County Emergency says the evacuation recommendation is voluntary for now, but winds could change conditions on the ground quickly. The Texas A&M Forest Service says the fire danger is high in parts of the state from Abilene to Fredericksburg. They're going to be dealing with extreme fire danger through tomorrow.
I bet they are wishing they could get some rain, and so are we right here at home.
And chances are going up.
Yeah, chances are looking better. They're looking more promising, particularly Sunday and Tuesday. Those are the days that stand out the most. Today, not a record-breaking day for a change. We had 5 record highs in a row. Today broke that streak. 98 for the high temperature, the record being 101. We still made it to triple digits across a good chunk of our area. Del Rio, Cotulla, Pleasanton, some of the typically warmer spots did hit triple digits. Right now outside, officially at the airport, 97, still near 90 at 8 o'clock, by 10 o'clock closer to 80, and we'll start tomorrow in the 70s. But get ready for some cooler temperatures. We'll take a look at that cold front that's headed our way, what kind of temperatures are behind it, and what it means for our weather in just a bit.
Some retailers are pointing the finger at credit and debit cards, blaming them for higher prices at some stores. Visa and MasterCard raised their interchange rates, also known as those swipe fees, last month. Merchants pay the fees to banks and credit card companies for credit or debit card transactions.
Yeah, and they vary depending on several factors, including the retailer, the type of card, and the transaction size. Some retailers say the increased fees will force them to raise prices, or they already have, or stop accepting certain credit cards. Visa and MasterCard claim the fees help pay for rewards programs and banking services and guarantee payment in case of customer overdraft or fraud.
Little blame game there.
Yeah, back and forth.
Yeah.
All right, so it's Thursday. Yeah, I tried to make a thermometer Tuesday pitch a couple days ago. It didn't really go over. So it's still warm.
It's Thurs.
Yeah, exactly.
Therm twos.
Therm twos. That just doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't do it.
Not for me, at least. But
Therm Tuesday.
Well, I mean, I'm working on them every day almost. So it's kind of there. More heat through Saturday, and then we get down into the lower 80s for high temperatures by Sunday. Rain chances, they're on the rise. That's what we like to see. We like to see a good weather pattern shift. Take a look at these rain chances. Now, I really want to focus on Sunday and Tuesday. Those are the days that stand out. Yes, we do have small opportunities elsewhere, including tomorrow and Saturday. But Sunday, I think we'll have a little more numerous showers and thunderstorms than what we would see otherwise. And then also on Tuesday, that's our best shot of more widespread and soaking heavy rainfall. So let's get right to it. Before we get into our weather pattern, I want to look at our cold front. And you can see just by looking at the colors on the temperature map, the heat across the southern 2/3 of the nation, especially here in Texas. Cooler temperatures off to the north. That's behind the cold front that's headed our way. I mean, just look at it. 91 in Omaha, Nebraska. You go to North Platte, Nebraska, 74 degrees. So a huge temperature drop off there. Denver, 85. Meanwhile, Casper, Wyoming at 32 degrees. Denver's likely to have snow tomorrow, several inches of snow on the backside of that cold front after being near 90 today. Our readings now mostly in the 90s, some 80s closer to the Gulf Coast. Victoria, 87, Kennedy, 88, Corpus Christi, 86, Hondo, 99, Uvalde, 97, and more summer-like temperatures on the map. This is a typical July and especially August temperature map. Let's talk about tomorrow morning. We'll start the day at about 74 degrees, and then by the afternoon, we just do this dance all over again, making it into the upper 90s, right near 100 degrees. Of course, a little above 100 in the typically warmer spots closer to the Rio Grande and farther south of town, Pleasanton, Poteet, about 102, 101 for the high temperature. And then look what happens on Sunday. Those temperatures fall off. So still upper 90s. Friday, Saturday. Saturday, by the way, we're forecasting another record high, tying it by making it to 98. But then by Sunday, lower 80s for highs with that little cold front dropping in extra clouds and even some off and on hit or miss showers and thunderstorms, keeping our temperatures in the low 80s and then mid 80s into next week. So notice we'll level off there in the mid 80s through most of next week. Here's our next potential weather maker. It's this upper level swirl near Tucson, Arizona and parts of northern Mexico. That upper disturbance, that's headed our way, and there's a slight chance it could break the cap tomorrow and give us a few thunderstorms. And if it does, it wouldn't surprise me if a storm became strong or severe. We just don't have a whole lot of confidence in that, so 20% chance there. Then we have this cold front. We talked about that cold front in terms of temperatures. There's a lot of moisture behind that front, a lot of precipitation. That front is going to head our way, and it should give us better ingredients altogether for generating more showers and thunderstorms, a little more activity on the radar screen. So tomorrow, just that 20% chance of a few afternoon and early evening thunderstorms. 74 in the morning, 97 by the afternoon is southeasterly wind at 10 to 20. We get into Saturday, another 20% chance. That's just for some random pop-up afternoon storms, so most of us dry. Sunday, we increase it to 40%, so a little better coverage. Still not a slam dunk for everybody, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do raise that chance a little bit. There is that possibility. And then Monday night through Tuesday, that still seems like our best chance of some heavy downpours and even some decent coverage across our area. So we're given that 60% at this time. I've been taking you through this thermometer, actually a couple of them that I've been putting together, and we talked about blowing the glass, and we cut it, we blew the glass, we evacuated the tube last week, right? Now, this is a delicate dance, okay? It looks so simple. You take a Sharpie and you put a mark on the thermometer. What I'm doing is marking where room temperature about 70 degrees should be on these thermometers. Sounds simple, but it's not. This is a delicate balance of bulb size and thermometer length. Very, very important, because the bigger the bulb, the higher the resolution and the more responsive your thermometer is going to be. And then, by the way, through experience, I figured out where roughly that should be on various size thermometers. And so I figured that out, and then I got around to this step, which we're going to dive into next week with a little slow-mo cam as well.
And a tube sock.
Ah.
Not just any tube sock.
The tube sock.
Yes.
Good stuff. I'm excited for it. Oh, it's so good. All right, today's winner of Homemade Thermometer, Joe Cortez of Bernie. The Joe Cortez I just sent an email to about an hour ago. Congrats. You can go to KSAT.com/thermometer to enter the drawing.
You know, I don't usually think of thermometers and delicate dance together, but you know.
Oh, it is. It is.
Now I will, yeah.
Yep. I used to have to measure and stuff like that. Now I can pretty much just eyeball it and get it close enough.
Look at all this expertise we got here.
It's kind of.
It depends on what kind of range you want on the thermometer too. That's bulb size and the length of it. There's a lot.
Yeah, it's a thermometer tango.
Yeah.
More of a foxtrot.
Adam. In case you missed it, coming up next. Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
The baby formula shortage continues to maintain a tight grip on American families.
What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to sit here and watch our kids suffer?
All across the country, cars lining up in parking lots waiting for free formula like this one in Charlotte.
Officers say an argument between the two men ended with one of them with a cut on his face and his arm. The victim was treated at the scene. The suspect taken away in handcuffs.
Wearing an orange jumpsuit, white face mask, and shackles, mass shooting suspect Peyton Gendron appeared before the judge, while relatives of some of the 10 black people he's charged with killing in a Buffalo supermarket heckled him.
Hey, you're a coward!
Surrounded by heavy security, the 18-year-old suspect, who has pleaded not guilty, remained silent throughout the hearing.
University Health and our KSAT community partners held free classes to teach people these life-saving skills. They learned about compressing a wound, adding pressure till help arrives, using a tourniquet, and packing wounds when needed.
Today, CDC vaccine advisors are set to vote on COVID boosters for children ages 5 to 11. The FDA has already granted emergency use authorization for the booster, citing an uptick in COVID cases due to the Omicron wave. Pfizer, who makes the booster dose for children, says its shot raises Omicron fighting antibodies by 36 times in this age group, and that no safety issues were found in its vaccine trial of 4,500 children. The FDA says that while COVID tends to be less severe in adults or in children than in adults, the Omicron wave has led to more kids being hospitalized and can lead to long-term health issues.
We got a big traffic trouble spot to tell you about here. This is I-35 at New Braunfels Avenue. Traffic at a crawl at best. Looks like these are the northbound lanes.
Yeah, and we're not sure exactly what's happening further up the road, but you can tell it is very slow going. Again, we believe this is northbound I-35 at New Braunfels, and I think a lot of people taking the exit right there to try to do the access road route.
Good call.
Yeah.
More heat on the way. Yes, the big shift in our weather pattern is on the way, but it's not going to really make it here until Sunday. So tomorrow, well, upper 90s, around 100 for high temperatures. Yep, same old drill. Von Army 100, Timberwood Park 95. Sunday and Tuesday stand out as our best chances of rain. Cooler by Sunday.
Thanks for watching.
See you back here on the Night Beat.